Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, buckle up because what's brewing in the AFC North right now is nothing short of explosive. Rumors are swirling that the Miami Dolphins, who are currently sitting at 1-2 after a bumpy start in 2025, might be willing to make a blockbuster move that could shake up the entire division. And interestingly enough, it involves none other than Tyreek Hill, the speedster known as Cheetah. Now, this isn't just idle speculation. Sources close to the league suggest that Miami might be open to trading Hill to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the Steelers, who are sitting at a solid 2-1 after 3 games, hungry for offensive firepower and eager to make a statement early in the season. And if this trade goes down, it could be one of those pivotal moments that define the Steelers' season and possibly their future. Now, let's break down what this could mean for Pittsburgh. First, the Dolphins, who are clearly in a bit of a rebuild mode after suffering a rough start and struggling on defense, allowing nearly 28 points per game, could see trading Hill as a way to free up cap space, roughly $25 million, which they would likely use to bolster their weakened offensive line. Miami's offensive line has been a liability so far, giving up 12 sacks in just 3 games, and they're clearly in need of some serious reinforcements. The idea is that by shipping out Hill, Miami would not only gain valuable draft capital, potentially a first-round pick plus a third-rounder, but would also free up the cap space to chase bigger fish on the market or invest in their offensive line to protect Tua Tagovailoa better. But for the Steelers, the allure of adding Tyreek Hill is enormous. This guy is a game-changer, a burner who can turn any play into a highlight reel. If Pittsburgh manages to land Hill, it could revolutionize their entire offensive scheme. Imagine Kenny Pickett now having a true deep threat alongside George Pickens, who's already emerging as a reliable target with an 85.3 PFF grade, and a player like Hill stretching defenses vertically. It's the kind of move that could elevate the Steelers from just a decent team into serious Super Bowl contenders. Hill's production this season has been remarkable. In 2025, he's already amassed 22 receptions for 312 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 3 games. That's an average of over 14 yards per reception, with a YAC yards after catch of 4.2 per catch per PFF, meaning he's not just fast, he's elusive and unpredictable. His career totals sit at over 800 yards and 67 touchdowns, and he's still in his prime. And let's not forget the impact this could have on the Steelers' offense overall. Adding Hill would boost the team's yards per game through the air significantly. Currently, Pittsburgh's passing attack ranks around 18th in the league, but with Hill, that could jump to the top 5. Easy. His presence would force defenses to respect the deep ball, opening up lanes for players like Pickens and even the running game. Plus, Hill's ability to gain YAC means more explosive plays, more chunk yardage, and less reliance on long, methodical drives. The Steelers would become a nightmare for defenses to contain, especially in high-pressure situations, whether it's late in the game or during the playoffs. Now, talking about playoff scenarios, the Super Bowl LXI odds are already shifting. Pittsburgh's odds, which were around +1,200 earlier this season, are now trending toward +600 if this move materializes. Hill's speed and playmaking ability could be the X factor in cold-weather playoff games, where breaking coverage and making those clutch plays are everything. Historically, Hill has been a postseason nightmare, with 3 postseason touchdowns and a knack for scoring in critical moments. His ability to stretch defenses vertically would complement Pickens, route running, and create a dynamic, multi-dimensional attack. It's the kind of addition that could turn the Steelers into a serious contender, especially if they can get him integrated quickly. Of course, there are some hurdles to consider. Salary cap implications, the chemistry of the team, and whether Miami is truly willing to part ways with such a key player are all factors. But if the Steelers can work out a deal, perhaps offering a first-round pick and a third-rounder, they might just land the NFL's fastest receiver. And with the deadline approaching on November 4th, this trade could be accelerated, and the Steelers' front office will have to act fast if they want to secure Hill's services. The potential impact on the division is huge. If Pittsburgh lands Hill, They instantly become one of the most dangerous offenses in the league, and their Super Bowl odds could skyrocket, especially if they keep their defense playing at a top level, which they've done so far this season, allowing just 12 points per game. Looking at the bigger picture, this move would send a clear message to the rest of the AFC North. The Steelers are not just content with being competitive, they want to dominate. Bringing in a player like Hill would send shockwaves through the division, making rival defenses scramble to adjust their game plans. It's also a statement for the franchise, showing that Pittsburgh is serious about reclaiming its position at the top of the league, about making a real push for another Super Bowl appearance. And let's be honest, with the right pieces, the Steelers have the talent to go all the way. They've got a solid defense, a promising quarterback in Kenny Pickett, and now possibly the chance to add a game-breaker at wide receiver. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering about the other side. What if Miami decides not to trade Hill? Well, that's always a possibility. But the fact that these rumors are out there suggests that the Dolphins are at least listening. And in the NFL, if the price is right, teams are always willing to make moves that can redefine their season. Pittsburgh's front office has shown before that they're not shy about pulling off big deals when the opportunity arises. Think about the history of the franchise, the Super Bowl wins, and the legendary players who have worn the black and gold. This could be another chapter in that story. An opportunity to bring in a player who can change the course of a season and maybe even bring another Lombardi home. Now, for the Steelers fans, this is the kind of news that gets the blood pumping. The idea of seeing Tyreek Hill in those black and gold jerseys, blazing down the field, catching bombs from Pickett, it's the stuff of dreams. It's a move that could define the 2025 season and beyond. But as always, we'll have to wait and see what the Steelers' front office decides. Will they pull the trigger on a trade that could make or break their year? Or will they stick to their current roster and look for other ways to boost their offense? Either way, the anticipation is building, and the division is about to get even more interesting. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on these rumors? Do you think Hill is the missing piece that can push the Steelers to the next level? Would you be willing to part with a first-round pick for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this, the Steelers are definitely in the conversation for a deep playoff run. So keep rooting, keep believing, and let's see how this story unfolds. The black and gold are always ready for their next big chapter, and maybe, just maybe, that chapter includes Tyreek Hill.